Howdy y'all, welcome to another video. Sorry, lost my beard, so lost my humor as well. In today's video, I want to teach you guys 3 massive, humongous tips on how to buy your next home like a professional. A lot of times I just find people get so overwhelmed and so stressed about the home buying process, but in reality, the only difference between you and I is that I've seen this hundreds of thousands of times. You've only gonna see it maybe a few times. So hopefully with some of this insight, I'll be able to help you, maybe not feel so nervous and maybe not depend on your realtor or lender so much. So that way, you can kind of chill out for a bit and stop stressing me out, okay? Because I gotta tell you, these late night calls aren't working for me, okay? If any of these tips helped you, or if you have any other tips that helped you, please leave a comment below. I am gonna make this a series, so I would love to maybe include one of your tips in future videos, and we're all just gonna put our... Never mind. Let's get to it. So my first tip for you guys is when you're looking at a house and you're interested in making an offer, the first thing you should do is always check the tax records. Why is that? Well, first and foremost, you want to understand what the seller's profit position is. Pulled up a random area here, and I'm going to just, let's pull up this house, okay? Let's see what the situation is. So the thing is, you don't have to have access to fancy realtor tools like this. A lot of websites like Zillow, Realtor Trulia will provide you at least the tax information of when it was purchased, what they purchased for, etc., etc. Now, some states like Texas don't allow you to find out this info. It's not public info, so you might want to, I don't know if realtors are allowed to access it. If they do, get connected with a good realtor and just start asking them this question: hey, can you find out what they purchased this house for, and just give me more information. So nothing's on the assessor's website. I'm looking here. The only thing I can find was that it was a rental. So I'm gonna go check out realtor.com and just really truly find out if I can find some previous sales. Okay, found it. So it looks like the last sale on public record was 1986 for $156K. So now I'm going to use my realtor data to find out more information. I'm preventing you from seeing this info here. So it looks like it was purchased in 1986, but there's been a lot of transfers from different families. So it looks like it stayed in the family for a long time. So it doesn't look like there's any kind of refinances either, any kind of loan history. So this tells me that this family's profit position is extremely well, and this is all public data. So let's say this house, for example, they're listing it for $545. If they have no offers on the table, and they might be in a position where we can make an aggressive offer because they have the profit. Let's say it was a different situation where it's like a $400,000 house and they bought it like 4 years ago for $150K. They're gonna make about $250,000 to $300,000. If we offer them $10,000 or $20,000 off the price, they're still going to make a pretty chunk of change. They shouldn't be complaining over 10 or 20K, right? It'll just help you get a better sense of what the profit position is for the clients, and it can help you justify any lower offers, because right now we are in a shifting market. Therefore, we should take advantage of this. We should try to make it work. Here I found another house. Once again, this is completely random, just looking up on the MLS. We have one for 73rd Lane, $530,000. We're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to go on Google. Last time I didn't have a lot of good luck with Zillow, but let's just try it out because I know all y'all are going to try it first. Looks like it was sold in 2002. No, it was sold last for $313,000 on June 20th, right? So it looks like these folks bought it approximately 3 years ago, around the same month, crazy, for $313, and now they're trying to sell it for $530. So how we can figure out their profit position is doing this. We get list price, right? We don't know what the commissions are. We can't actually find out what they're paying the buyer commission. So this one is 2.5, but we don't know what they're getting paid on the listing side, right? So what I'm going to guesstimate, once again, I am estimating, is the listing agents maybe getting paid the same amount the buyer's agent is. So I'm going to do that. 2.5 times 2 is 5%. That's just my guess. So you can do this as well. You find out the commission that they're getting paid, multiply by 2, and you can guess that's going to be their amount. Now, so that's 5%, right? So we put that in our brain. So once we get 5%, we also, right now in Arizona, the seller pays 1% of title fees, usually, give or take. Now that could be different fees for you. So it can be 1 to 2% if you want to add it there. So I'm going to say about 1% here in Arizona. So that's 6% total fees or closing costs, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this number by 0.94. Why? Because we're removing 6% from this number. If you want to be more conservative, let's say you were doing 2% of closing cost fees and title fees, or maybe the realtor's getting paid more or paying paid less, whatever. Then what you do is, let's say it's 7% or 8%. You get 100 minus 7, 93. So then you multiply this by 0.93. Capiche? Got it? Good? All right. Sorry, I was just realizing I was covering the numbers. So anyways, so that's how we're going to do it. So we multiply this by 0.94. That's the number we get. We're going to subtract it by, was it 313? I think that they bought it for. Let me just double check. Just a quick correction here. You would not use the 313 because technically as they're making payments on the property, their balance is going down, okay? Also, the 313 doesn't account for the down payment they use. There's a couple things we can do, okay? So if their price was 313, then we're going to assume they put 5% down, okay? And then every year, the thing is, as you pay your monthly payments, your balance goes down, but the first 5 to 10 years, it barely goes down anything, right? So I think, if you really want to get technical, what you could do is you could pull up an amortization schedule. You can look up the average interest rate at the time they bought it, and then you can kind of amortize it lower, It's a lot of work, I know. Or you can kind of just guesstimate and say, they've owned it about 4 years. They probably owe about 285, 280, give or take. So if you can't do that at the top of your head, so that really the number would be like closer to 285, okay? If you can't do that at the top of your head, probably do an amortization schedule. How you do an amortization is all you gotta do is Google amortization calculator, okay? Pick up any of them, okay? Mortgage amount was, what was it, 290 something, 298, 297, 500, 30 years. Let's just do, at that time interest rate was like 3.5 maybe. Calculate that. Then we can look show amortization schedule, and we can just say, okay, if I owned a property for 4 years, how would that look like? So we go to 2026 and we see what their loan balance would be, 276. Okay, so you can do that if you want to get a rough idea, give or take. So just want to make that correction. You will see the numbers being correct for the next few minutes, but I want to make sure that you guys know that to do that the right way. 530 multiply. So they're going to make, give or take, about 185, 200. So they have a pretty decent profit position here. So let's say this house, it was listed 0 days. So it's going to be a little harder to negotiate. But let's say this is a house that was listed for 2 or 3 weeks now. Well, we know their profit position is solid. So let's try to get a little bit off the price, like, hey guys, like we know you're making 185K. If we offer you $15,000 less, you're still making 170K. Come on, work with us here. Come on, you guys get your money. Come on, let's go. So that's just information that you're not going to know unless you do the research. So always research the tax records, get an idea of the profit position of the seller. So it'll help you get a better situation. Now, the second tip I have for you guys is this. Don't just get your pre-qualification and pre-approval and just say, okay, it's good. No, get an idea. You already have an idea of what kind of house and what kind of city, what kind of range you like. Get a house, pick it, send it to your lender and say, if I were to buy this house, what would be the loan estimate? Have them send you the exact data, like the exact fees of what it's going to cost to buy this house. Now they're going to overestimate the title fees probably, and that's okay. But I recently ran into an issue where, like, a client of mine, shout out to you, Gus. Gus isn't his name, but he knows who you are. He was asking me about the closing costs, and I was like, they're probably about $6,000. It's no big deal. And he's like, cool. Well, we're under contract, and it turns out they got $12,000-$13,000 closing costs. And we're like, what the hell's going on? Well, we talked to the lender. They overestimated some things, and we got it down. I think he's closer to 9K now. In his situation, because we're closing too soon in the month, there's a lot of interest being collected for that month, and therefore it's a lot higher, right? A lot more up there. So whatever the situation is, get those numbers now. Don't just take someone's word for it. Get the lender to give you the breakdown of what's called the loan estimate, so you know exactly what the closing costs are going to be. You'll find out soon if you have any business looking at houses. Or you might adjust some things like, hey, you know what, maybe I can't do 10% down. Maybe I can't do 5%. Maybe you should adjust to 3% or whatever the case may be. You'll just be a lot more better informed than just getting your pre-qualification saying, hey, good job, you qualify up to this price, and you go, okay, no problem. Let's go. My last piece of advice is going to be this. Sellers hate new listings. What do I mean by that? Well, I had a situation where there was a seller attempting to sell their home. First weekend didn't go great. Second weekend, boom, new listing in our neighborhood, and it's listed a lot cheaper. Holy crap, that sucks. It's terrible news for everybody, and it really just, or if it's a lot higher, it's whatever. New listings when you're selling your house in your neighborhood and you're for sale they could be either an amazing thing or it could be a dagger in the heart. So because of that, this is what I recommend you do. When you're being sent new listings, a lot of times realtors just send you new listings because that's what they want you to see. That's nice and all, but if you, let's say, get a new house, let's say here, let's just use this one for example. Let's say you receive this house that says new listing and you're like, great, this is good. Don't just look at this house. What you want to do is you want to create a separate search, maybe a half-mile radius of this house, and see who is disappointed with this news. Because I guarantee you those people are going to be in a position now where if they're aware of this house just came on the market, they're aware it's cheaper, they're aware it's a little more expensive, they're probably going to be in a better situation to negotiate. Whereas if you would have like lowballed them the first weekend that they hit the market, they're probably going to be like, I don't know if I can take this, no thanks. No, if you strike after that dagger of the new listing, that's going to put yourself in a better position and they're going to be more inclined to negotiate with you. So if we are using this specific house, what I'm going to do is you can do this on your own, realtor.com, zillow.com, or if you're in Arizona, arizonahomegoals.com. Yes, I am a shill. What the hell does shill mean anyways? Person who publicizes or praises something more in reasons of self-interest. Okay. Yeah. Urban Dictionary. All right, so you can use the word shill however you want, but it's sometimes used as a substitute for other phrases like "what's up, shill." It's surprising how fun it is. It's hard to explain, but if you catch, you've used it a few times. Oh, what's up, shill? Oh, shill. Shall we do it, shill? Will you take on my will, shill? All right, shill. Let's go, shill. All right, shills. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the specific house. And so this is 75th Avenue and Union Hills. We're going to zoom in, find a house, just do a quick little, half-mile radius, 0.88 mile radius. And let's just see what's there. Let's just see who has the unpleasant news. First thing I'm going to do is focus on anything a little bit over 530 because they're going to be the ones that are going to be really impacted by this. Look at this house right here. It looks like a very similar model. It's been on the market for 34 days. I bet you if you call these Open Door up and say, listen, there's a new listing that hit just the market. It's for 530. I'm sending you an offer of 525. They're going to be like, oof. Well, tying it back to a previous tip, actually, looking at what Open Door bought it for, they bought it for 516. So even at 525, they got a little wiggle room there for profit because if you know anything about Open Door, they actually didn't buy it for 516. They actually bought it for like 480, 490. But on paper, it says 516, but they have like a lot of fees associated with it. The house that we were looking at earlier, funny enough, is in the question. They're probably not liking that as well. And 549, like these houses, 13 days in the market, they're not happy about the new listing that just hit the market. So when you see a new listing, don't just say, okay, let's go look at that brand new listing. Use that as an opportunity to do a quick half-mile radius search and just look at the houses in that area and see who's not happy about that news, and perhaps go walk that property again. Maybe you pass on it the first time and see if you can strike while the iron is hot. If you're looking for more tips, a lot of people in the comment section are going to leave lovely tips. I'm sure some really nice how to cook a well-done steak and all, medium rare. That's how you're supposed to eat a steak. I don't care who you are. If you're eating it well, just stop. Just stop eating it. Give it to your dog. Go eat some veggies or something. If you guys are looking for more home buying resources, you guys need to know, go to javiervidana.com. A lot of great resources there for you as well. We also got the referral program. The guys, all the links are in the description. All the goodies are down there. Just go down there and check it out. And I'm looking forward to reading your tips. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. See you on the next video. Ciao.